For those of you that make over 100K, what do you do? Do you like it? I'm a compliance officer at a big bank. I specialize in a regulation called UDAAP, which stands for Unfair, Deceptive, or Abusive Acts or Practices. I love my job. When I see the bank doing something potentially UDAAP, I get to tell them to knock it off. I can push for refunds if there was monetary damage. I'm fighting hard for the average customer every single day. Feels good. So many unsung heroes that protect the interests of the average Joe. Shout out to the Department of Weights and Measures too. I also work in compliance for a big bank, doing reporting to highlight where the bank has breached regulations and how they are being addressed. While staring at an Excel sheet all day isn't what I would call capital F fun, I love that I get to make sure the bank is fixing the problems that would otherwise screw over the average mom and pop consumer investor. It's the only way I can justify working in an industry that is fundamentally designed around making the rich richer. As an auditor myself, I commend you. Good work. Very cool, but based on your username, what happened? Is it more fulfilling than bird's theft? Pediatric Anesthesiologist, 1010, would render kids unconscious again. Grinning, 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 thank you, they were so loud. This man gets to knock kids out for a living. It's hard seeing someone else live out your dreams. Anyone can do that. Rendering them conscious is the trick. I always find anesthesiologists to be the funniest doctors. Not pediatric, but when I was going into surgery, my anesthesiologist said, "Hey there, I'm your bartender. I'll be mixing you up something you love." It was so cute. Do you do house calls? I do IT Sys Admin for the local government. I am sick of it. I am sick of everyone and all their bullshit. I am 5 years away from retirement. Stay strong, brother, sister. I'm about 25 years away from retirement, and I'm in the same boat you are. I too am in IT, and I too am ready for retirement. It just feels like every new company initiative for security makes my job more and more difficult. I'm way less productive. The good news is that no one is complaining about it. It's just me being hard on myself. It's frustrating though. I have a goal to retire in 5 years, but it may be later if I find my groove again. I just retired from this position, Sys Admin / DBA, local government. I remember loving computer work when I started. It seemed like the better it paid, the less I enjoyed it. Also, the worse the people involved became. The last year or two were the worst because the people involved were just awful. But having retired with a pension feels great, especially if you still know people there that feed you stories about how the people you hated ended up screwing things up without you to cover for them. I've never met a Sys admin that did it for the love of the game. It's always because they're just good at it and it pays well. Sys admin here too. I'm 20 years from retirement. I lucked out and got with a great company. The manager and director know how to focus on the task at hand and not micromanage. I'm really hoping I can stick here for that 20 years. Evolutionary environmental biologist. Research wild gray wolves. Love it. It's my purpose. Love how my whole family told me I would make nothing as a biologist of reptiles or fish. Tell your wolves I said, awuo. You are in a very small percentage of people that work in wildlife-related field that makes a decent living. I got out of the field after a decade of not being able to make any decent money, even working for an R1 institution for half of that. That would be my dream job too. However, everything is severely underfunded for conservation where I live. I only make okay money because I do accounting as well. Give us your favorite fun fact about wild gray wolves. Cardiologist, 700K. Journey to get here was brutal, very competitive to get into specialty. Couldn't have made it without family support and willingness to accept that rest of your friends who graduated high school with you will move on, have kids, etc. While I was in med school, 3 years of internal medicine residency, 3 years of cardiology fellowship. Graduated at 34. This is my first year earning this. $700K is wild bread. Brother is a neurosurgeon, 8-year residency. Congrats, none of it is easy. Damn, looking back at 6 years university, 6 years residency, 2 years specialization, no life around studying and working 60h week, and going home with 160K here in Germany. 700K is wild. Fantastic username. That's genuinely as much as many people who graduated at 22 will have made by the time they're 34. Crazy stuff. Mechanical engineer for a fantastic small company and love IT, 130K. Hate it, but the salary and my family keep me going. Mech engineer as well, doing design for a very large company. Better pay than my first job, but a demotion on capability. I miss being a repair badass, rocking 120K-ish. Aerospace here, 175 plus 15% bonus. Love every second of it. We do work for a guy who is an ME. He absolutely hates it, hates being on call 24/7 2 weeks a month, and hates the pressure of having to work ridiculously fast but perfect. But he always follows that up with not hating that he'll be retiring at 45 with a beach house and starting a charter fishing business. EI's here working at large company, making about 120K. Government grants management. Yup, I like it. Not the most thrilling work, but it's stable and not crazy stressful. I never work more than 40 hours a week, plus I get a pension, 6 weeks of leave, and union protection. I don't care if it's boring law, it gives me a good life. Can I DM you? I worked on large GOVT-funded grants and am looking to change jobs, curious to learn more about your role. I used to do this before the big RIFs. It was great. I intend to do everything I can to return after the big orange man is out of office. How can someone get into this? IBEW low voltage electrician. I fucking love it. It's the best thing I've ever done for my future. I went from making $22 an hour to $55 an hour over the course of my apprenticeship, and 1 year being a journeyman. It's not easy to get in, and the apprenticeship is difficult, but if you stick through it, the union will help you. I'm 37. I wish I had been smart enough to do this at 18. Instead, I did a bunch of drugs. In defense of 18-year-old you, drugs are fun. Did you get into this recently? I've considered the transition because my brother is a union electrician and loves it. On the flip side, I know guys who got in at 18 and burned bridges. They didn't make it due to drugs and partying. Drugs are a requirement for working in the trades. You were just building your resume. I'm 45 and thinking about this. Would I be too old? I'm close to retiring from military and want a new career. Thank you very much for watching. Put likes, write comments, and wait for new videos on the channel.